In a world where truth hides in the shadows, faith still shines through. Where the seen and unseen collide, when everyone else is of the world, we are the Not of This World podcast.
Hello, and welcome to Not of This World podcast. Today is November 3rd, and yesterday we had kind of a big day for Josh. His Chicago Bears actually came back and won the game in the last minute. My name's Steve. Josh, was it not a miracle from God to see that happen?
I don't think God cares about football, but it was a miracle. Um, for the last forever amount of years, I watched that happen and the Bears lose. So
Gotcha.
seeing them actually pull it off was basically like a miracle. Um, maybe God does. Maybe God does care about football. I don't know. Hopefully. If
I
so, then
think
he
he
has been mad at the Bears for a long time. So hopefully that's changing.
I think he knows we're faithful people because
Yes.
you're a Bears fan and I'm a Cardinals fan.
Mm-hmm.
If anything shows faith in something and loving something through things, that's where we're at right there. Like Bears and the Cardinals definitely are hard to love sometimes.
Yes, they are, and you are correct. You have to be a loyal person to stay fans of either of these teams. So,
Well, Josh, you said you had a Bible verse for us to read today. I'd love to hear it whenever you're ready.
yeah, really quick before we do that, everyone, thanks for being on. If you enjoy anything we talk about today, if you want to support Christian content, please like, subscribe, comment. Uh, the comments are great. We love to be able to hear from people what's going on in your life, if you need prayer for anything, or if you just want to chat about anything we talked about. But yeah, with that said, I do have a Bible verse. I actually love this Bible verse. I'm going to start with today. It's in First Corinthians, verse 21. So don't boast about following a particular human leader, for everything belongs to you, whether Paul or Apollos or Peter, or the world, or life and death, or the present and the future. Everything belongs to you, and you belong to Christ, and Christ belongs to God. Um, I've always loved that passage because it just is so relevant in the world over the last, really the last 10 years. I feel like people have become so boastful and so separated about who their political leaders are, about who
Yeah.
they follow in this or follow in that. And it's just a good reminder that doesn't matter. That's not what we're here for. We belong to Christ. Christ belongs to God. We are all following that path, and that's all that truly is important.
Amen. The first thing we go through is the devil's in the details. I'd like to show you that new clip. Are you ready to watch that?
Yeah.
Is responding tonight after a photo making its way across social media shows some teachers in what some are calling controversial Halloween costumes. Now, this is the photo right here of Cienega High School teachers and those shirts in question. Those shirts say "Problem solved" and show blood, as you can see, over the left side. Some parents and community members are fuming, saying this mocks the assassination of conservative political activist Charlie Kirk and endorses violence. Vail Superintendent John Carruth refutes this, saying in part, quote, "The shirts were worn in reference to solving math problems. Any reference that these shirts were related to something other than that are simply false and untrue. The staff wearing them care deeply about children. Most of them live in our community and have served families in Vail for many years. These shirts were worn both this and last year as part of math-themed Halloween costumes and were not intended as a reference to any person, event, or political issue."
Yeah, so that was, I guess, could be taken pretty wrong either way. But yeah, I had a couple interesting articles. I'm not going to be doing videos for them, but just some interesting articles. I'll read through the headlines first, and then we can talk about any of them that you find interesting or we want to talk about a little more. But just a few of these. An article about a woman. I spent $100,000 on surgery to become a real life sexy superhero, and I'm not done. Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. Um, this one's really cool. Researchers accidentally discover material that's stronger and cheaper than concrete. That one can be something really interesting to watch. And last one I kind of wanted to bring up today. There actually wasn't a ton going on in the news this weekend, surprisingly. I feel like it's been crazy for months, but this one actually, Trump threatens to go into Nigeria guns a-blazing over attacks on Christians.
Yeah, it's been happening a lot over the world. Christians are getting persecuted. My bad.
Okay, yeah, that one just actually made me happy knowing that Trump and our government is willing to stand up and put a stop to this, because persecution is happening worldwide, and in Nigeria it's been particularly bad. I hope everyone out there is praying for the people in Nigeria and really just anyone persecuted worldwide, but it's nice to know that our government is willing to step up and try to put a stop to this.
Yeah, the news part is going to be the one that we're going to have to get used to, because I think me and you both kind of checked out of watching the news all the time.
Yeah, I never ever watched the news. So when we decided we wanted to add a little bit, it was interesting actually having to scroll through the news feed this weekend and just how much garbage there is in it for real.
Yeah, so last night when I was looking for stuff, I went to X, and then it just was Arizona was trending, which
Mhm.
I don't even know how to search for news legitly on X. I'm being completely transparent because I just downloaded it recently when we got the podcast,
Mhm.
and um it said Arizona, so I clicked on it, and it was those teachers from Bell, and I was like, okay. And so all I saw was the picture of them, and like you just said, like you thought of school shootings, I automatically thought of Charlie Kirk, and I was like, ooh, this isn't good. And I was ready to like talk with you about it and be like, I can't believe these teachers did this. I'm outraged by it. And then I investigated a little bit more, and lo and behold, it wasn't. If the superintendent is telling the truth, and
Mhm.
these shirts had nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. They were just funny math teachers being goofy.
Yeah.
It was poor taste, but yeah,
See, I didn't know, like I said, I do not watch the news. And so when the Charlie Kirk thing happened, it was just me hearing from people. I didn't
yeah,
seek it out. I didn't want to I just don't like to give the news much attention
yeah,
because just I don't like it. It's always
right,
bad news and drama. So I did not know about Charlie Kirk wearing that shirt with the blood going down the one side of it. So
yeah.
I definitely probably would have thought of that, but the fact that I didn't know that, it just to me brought up, like, first thing I thought of was school shootings, like teachers saying kids are a problem, haha, problem solved. But I mean, it doesn't sound like it really was that. What did you think of the girl who just spent $100,000 and is not done to make herself a sexy superhero?
To make it religious, it just makes me think of false idols. People putting something in their life that makes them feel fulfilled, and
Hmm.
it obviously it isn't just one surgery. It's going to be multiple surgeries, and I think there's a lot of that vain self-appearance, self-absorbed people in this world right now. That's their priority, is to maintain beauty.
Yeah.
Um,
And
Clearly, you and I aren't those
man was
people.
made in the image of God, and woman was made in the image of man. So anytime you see that stuff with conversions to change bodies, whether it be with what sex they are or what human to superhero or human to lizard, it just really seems like the devil to me in people's ears, just really trying to aggravate God.
If I can go back and find the video, I'll add a clip to our YouTube page of it. But there was an interview of two women. I believe one of them identified as a man, and this girl has like, I'm gonna try and describe this the right way. Her lips are so full and injected with stuff, it almost looks like she has a she's talking with a butt. That's how
Oh.
big her lips are, and she has one of those big fake booties, and
Mhm.
all the things. And then the guy looks, it's just outrageous. But they had just adopted they actually got pregnant through another man and had a baby, and they're
Okay.
trying to share like their love for each other through an interview. But half the interview is talking about how nobody thinks it's right that they're having a baby together,
Okay.
and how the world is against them. But
Okay.
it's really eye-opening to listen to them talk about it because it's so far removed from my reality right now. Like it's
Yeah.
almost like I know it's clickbait, but like it just feels like how far the world's gotten away from what's actually real.
It makes me sad, really, when I
Yeah.
start listening to these or watching it. Like, what is wrong with who you are, who you were created to be?
Yeah.
What's making you that? I don't know. What's
Well,
making someone that disturbed that they want to change who they are?
that's the point though, is like if I brought up that interview, I guarantee you that somebody around me might know of that interview.
Hmm.
But if you brought up the Christians being killed in Nigeria, people are gonna be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Just like I could ask so many people any question about a celebrity, who they're married to, who they're dating, what kind of drama is going on in the celebrity's life, and they're going to know about that. But yeah, like
Right.
you said, not about the persecution happening in Nigeria.
Well, it's not just in it's Syria as well. And like we're gonna have we just had our first interview with a guy from my church named Kobe, and that will be out soon. But our next person we're going to interview is somebody who served in the military, and he has some really strong opinions about the things that are happening in this world right now, and it will relate to some of that. So I don't want to get too deep into that,
Yeah.
but I'm looking forward to talking about it because it is a huge issue that Americans do not understand how well we have it here to be able to celebrate our freedom of having our we can have our religion without being someone stopping us. Doesn't feel that way sometimes because every time I bring up Jesus, it seems like everyone rolls their eyes and wants to walk away or gets mad.
Well,
But
that's our persecution, right? It's that people just don't want to talk to you, or they think you're weird, or they might dispute it. I've never actually had anything crazy happen. People are usually pretty nice, but very clear that they're not interested in talking about it.
I understand, and you might not get it to your face, but probably what's
Definitely.
happening is when you walk away, either they're judging you or they might just be like, "Well, there goes my friend. I'm not talking to him anymore."
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
It definitely happens. But I'd say overall, we're pretty fortunate that that's as bad of the persecution as we get right now. But obviously, as we get closer and closer to the end, that's going to increase.
Right. And as you read over that interview about the concrete, is that something that's going to be in the near future they're going to be able to use?
Yeah, it looks like this company is already testing. It's something to do with metal shavings, and
Hmm.
there's tons of it because it's waste right now that I think they don't know how to get rid of it, or they just bury it or whatever. But he's taking these extremely inexpensive metal shavings and mixing it and creating a new concrete, a harder and cheaper concrete. So that can be amazing. Like especially with the price of concrete over the last 5, 7 years. I was talking to somebody who was trying to get a pool. This was a couple years ago, so it was worse because it was still recovering from all the stuff during COVID.
All right.
But I think they got quoted like double what it was a couple years before, and they were on like a 6 month wait list because they couldn't get the concrete. So having a new form of concrete that is cheaper and actually even better, harder, that could seriously be a game changer for building.
100%. Not just like I mean, anything that you can make housing more affordable right now would be a blessing.
Yes.
I can't imagine to what it'd be like to be a young person today and have to worry about trying to buy a house.
Yeah, I think they've made it or are making it so that people give up on that hope.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff's going to change with robotics improving and AI rapidly improving, that the entire economy is going to have to find a way to shift. The whole world's going to have to find a way to shift. And unfortunately, the people at the top have been planning for this for a long time and are going to have full control. So, unless something major changes, unless God steps in and puts a stop or takes away the Christians in the rapture and moves into those final 7 years
Yeah.
or final 3.5 years, if it's mid trib, I don't know. Something has to change.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. I didn't mention the Elon Musk thing, did I?
No.
Okay, so he just did a really interesting interview with Joe Rogan. That's if we were doing our old format, I would have had almost the entire episode about Joe Rogan and an Elon Musk interview. He did touch on how much scandal there was on the Democratic side to keep these SNAP benefits we were talking about on last episode.
Okay.
And he says the reason why is because they want to give it to all the immigrants, and we touched on that, right? But he goes into great detail about it, and it's crazy to hear him talk about it, especially because how much he's been now one of the most hated figures in the world because of his takes. And it makes it more clear to me when someone hates someone like that. It's like for all the wrong reasons. Like I just pulled up to my kid's soccer game last week, and the guy has a Tesla, and it says, "I bought this before Elon went crazy."
I've seen those stickers or
And I
similar
just
ones.
I think it's so silly that gets their identities wrapped up in all of it. But they probably mock us too when they see a cross on our car or around our neck. They're probably like, "Oh my gosh, they're one of those people." So it's full circle.
I'll happily boast about Jesus, but I'm not
Uh,
about to boast about a man. Goes back to the passage to start today.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing I want to highlight that was fun though is he talked about his new Roadster, and he didn't come out and say it's going to be a flying car, but he said everything but it's going to be a flying car. He basically is like saying it's going to be the most revolutionary product reveal in the history of mankind to date. And he said it will make any James Bond car, if you combine them all together, it will make it like not even as good as what this Roadster is going to be. So I just remember watching Back to the Future 2 back in the day, and I'm like, whoa, that might be our time.
Did he say when the announcement's going to come or the
Before
reveal?
the end of the year.
Wow.
But I
We
mean,
might finally have what the Jetsons promised us so long ago.
all right, brother. You do you have anything to add about the news before we go to AI versus IA?
No, let's hear some artificial intelligence.
All right, let's do it.
Give up yards? We do. Who missed tackles? We do. Who let tight ends run free? That's us. Third and long? Still first down. Every time. Who can't stop a screen?
Hold on there. Okay. Want to test it?
Perfect.
All right. Go downstairs.
Okay.
Belly buttons.
So I loved the Cowboys video. I know,
Yeah.
especially for you because you're a Cardinals fan playing them tonight, but
Right.
it's just funny to me because it's pretty true. And they have the Bears' former head coach Matt Eberflus as their defensive coordinator right now. So,
Okay.
oh, it makes sense.
Did he did you watch did you guys play the Cowboys this year?
We beat them, yeah.
Okay, I don't watch anything but the Cardinals, so I haven't been paying attention to who's good, and the Cardinals have not been good, so I'm like checked out. Besides the game, so I'm like, okay, game's over. I'm checked out again.
Yeah.
So
Dallas has an awesome offense, but their defense has been like atrocious. So
that's what I gathered from the AI video. Because I'm like, that wasn't really their defense, but I was laughing about it because I knew we played the Cowboys. And then I saw the girl flying down with the umbrella, and I wouldn't have added that just as a normal video, but then you realize it's real.
yeah. I mean, it does it I guess it has to be part AI, right? To be able, or is that just regular video editing?
That's just regular video.
Okay. So that was a pretty extensive thing they did to their house just to make a little video of her coming down.
100%. I thought the same exact thing. Like you could have. There has to be another purpose for that hole in the ceiling.
That, and then they did the railing and put it as like an opening railing right there.
Right.
Pretty crazy. I
Or
wonder,
or we're
wonder if
being
it was
fooled
worth
again.
it for the views, huh?
Or we're being fooled again and it's AI.
The whole thing's AI just from the start.
Yeah. You know how I shared that YouTuber with you, God Rules?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was talking about AI last night, and he's saying that it's like almost like the dot-com bubble crash
Okay.
right after 2000. I don't remember exactly what year it was, but he's saying that we're being misled about it and that it's not as powerful as they're leading on. He says that he showed a graph of it, like basically investments going up, but what's being produced is going down. And he says it's gonna blow up. He's like they're selling us a false bill of goods so that they can build up the stocks. I don't know if that's true or not. That's what he said, but uh, I I hate to say someone smarter than me, but he definitely studies this stuff a lot more than I do. But I guess it's worth
Yeah, he was a mechanical engineer actually,
right. Yeah.
which mechanical engineer, my brother has that degree. That's a very difficult degree to get, so you have to be really smart.
So yeah, he
Um,
says be wary because he thinks it's like all the promises they're making, it's not going to come in the time we think it's going to come.
that wouldn't surprise me fully. Obviously, it's doing pretty amazing stuff with like editing and,
Hmm.
companion on like Zoom meetings, how you get you know, a whole list of your to-do list and summarizes everything you just talked about. So I mean, there's pretty extensive stuff, but I could see what he's saying. Like they're acting like AI literally is going to have um like treating it like it's going to have a soul of its own almost, right? Like it's going to truly have personality and um just be better than a human.
Right. Well, I think for people who aren't talking to other people and are lonely and you use those chat bots, I think I know that it doesn't have a soul, but if
Hmm.
it's learning from us chatting with it all the time, how to talk to us, I it's scary, dude. I'm not saying scary as I'm scared, but it is learning all the time how to manipulate us.
No, I was actually watching the Watchman River channel,
Hmm.
and he said that he started getting comments from some of his people like reaching out like, hey, someone is using you as their videos right now and saying things that aren't normally what you would say. So
Really?
apparently someone out there used his face and his name and his voice to create AI videos with content that is not like content he would create.
I let me see if I can share this, dude. I actually have something that I've been saving for us to get into, but I don't know if I'll be able to do it or not. Let's see.
大家晚上好啊！今天发现了一种方法，很奇妙，可以快速的改变你的样貌。比如说这样，是不是毫无违和感？或者是再换一个，以后可以快速的去更换你任意的一个形象，然后去做直播、录视频。
Well, you mentioned the Watchman River and like literally you can't tell the difference.
No. And that's actually taking a person and turning it like I think the videos can just make it now, right? Or do you think someone for like the Watchman River, do you think someone had to put a filter on like that where they had to sit there
It's
and
it's it's a AI program. All you have to do is download the software like you would with ChatGPT, and then you just pick what you want to look like. And I'm sure you can pick celebrities, and then it also does the voice. So maybe you just have a video of them, upload the video, it memorizes from a few keywords, and then you can look like anyone you want.
we're screwed. Like seriously, we are in trouble.
And I didn't even notice that the making those little intro clips that you mentioned that the idiot was spelled wrong.
Yeah.
I didn't
No,
even notice it.
alert. It was ALLRT.
Oh, that's AI for you, man.
Yeah,
I was just happy
go
with
ahead.
it.
Yeah, the intro video was cool, but then I was like, hey, I think that's ALLRT. That's not alert.
Well, either we can keep it the same and wait for someone to comment about it, or I'll fix it. But
Yeah, if it can be fixed, it'll just spell it wrong again. I heard something the other day. I might have mentioned this on our last episode, but I heard something that like they just did a study and AI is only, I'm not going to get the number exact. So if someone heard the same thing, don't hold me to it, but it was something like 55 or 57% correct right now.
Really?
So people are taking AI as truth, but right now at this moment, it's only like 55 or 57% correct.
So you ready to have some laughs right now? We can do the holy humor.
Yeah, let's see. What do you got for me?
I got some
Make me
fun
laugh.
Men dressed as women.
Yeah, some of those guys looked a little too comfortable to be in.
I think it's hilarious, dude. I think it would have been great if I would have done it at your wedding if someone had talked me into it.
Yeah.
It actually made me think of your wedding when you had that saxophone player come out.
Oh, that was great. I don't think Jade liked it as much as I did, but it was for her. I thought she was gonna love it.
Well, I loved it.
Thank you.
Just watching people's faces like so confused.
Well, it was awesome. She was the one who showed me the videos of this guy, just for context for anybody listening. So there was this guy called the Sexy Saxogram Man, and he would just like play this 80s song on the saxophone in random spots. Like he'd run into college classrooms or he'd start playing it in the, just in a shopping mall or whatever. And he's wearing tight leather pants and no shirt with suspenders, and he's got a big mullet. And she always thought it was so funny. So I tracked the guy down, and he did not live that far from where we were at when we got married in San Diego. And I was able to get him to come to our wedding and come in the middle of the reception and start doing it. And it was perfect. I thought it was hilarious. My wife laughed a little, but I guess wasn't in her dreams for the perfect wedding to have that happen. But hey, whatever.
Right? That was the holy humor moment of the day.
All right.
Well, are you ready for the next clip of the day?
Yeah.
The not of this world moment of the day?
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Let every day. Night after. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Let every say praise the Lord. Oh, my soul. Everybody jump.
Very, very much so.
Like, why is that exactly?
Jesus saved my life. I'm a sinner, gave my life to Christ, most important decision I ever made.
So you believe the Bible is real?
Yes, I believe the Bible is true and real. Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I could give you the technical answer. There's never been an archaeological discovery that has contradicted the truth of the Bible. And then, of course, the wisdom. There is not a truth of the Bible that if you apply to your life does not improve dramatically. And then finally, we have the most accurate and transparent, historically robust account that one can have of the most important figure ever to live in the history of the world, Jesus of Nazareth. And the resurrection is the pinpoint of my belief that Jesus did rise from the grave so that we may live.
What makes Christian mythology real?
So that's not mythology, but that is theology. If Genesis 1:1 and the resurrection is true, anything in the Bible is possible. You're looking at the greatest miracle. The greatest miracle is creation. And then the fact that Jesus rose from the dead. And I say, how do you know that Jesus rose from the dead? Well, show me another historical piece of a story where so many people willingly died a brutal death for a lie. Every single person around him had everything to lose, and yet they went to the absolute depth, from Paul to Peter to the half-brother of James, saying that Jesus is Lord, Jesus rose from the dead. Not to mention, if you were going to fake a story, you would not use female witnesses in the ancient world. In the scriptures, it said that the women were the first one to see Jesus Christ. If you're trying to fake a story, you would never do that.
Dude, Charlie Kirk was so talented.
Yeah.
And it was a gift, just the way he could answer any question and keep all of his thoughts lined up to make a perfect argument every time. It was so good.
I agree. Yeah, the God moments, sometimes you have to go search those out. And I just was going past that and I couldn't not. But I thought it was awesome to see the Alabama football players
Yeah,
joining the
yeah.
football team again. And then the Army recruits going praising God.
What's sad is you have to seek this out. You have to search for this, that it's not um, publicized, right? That you'd think positive news would be a good thing and it would
Right.
be everywhere, but it's very hard to find. But I loved that about the Alabama football team. I didn't know they were doing that. Kind of makes me pull for Alabama a little bit now.
Yeah. Yeah, we're talking about football. I started noticing as the Cardinals had a new general manager, uh, every time we drafted a player, I always check things out and listen to them talk. And the reoccurring thing I kept on hearing when they were being interviewed was like they're praising God and thanking God for everything they had. And it hasn't translated into wins yet, um, which isn't the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is when my team's drafting Christian men that believe in hard work and um, regardless of how it goes for football or not, I'm pulling for these guys. Like I want them to win. I always get sad if a player gets hurt, but like I'm like I really want them to win, as everyone should, but as any football player. But just because they're Christians, you're just like, "Oh, okay, I can really get behind this, and I don't get too mad when something happens.
Yeah, really get behind them like, yeah, that's my brother out there.
Yeah, exactly. Same way I feel about the military guys. Like we were Marines, but those Army guys, I'm like, let's go, guys.
Yeah, I wonder what percentage, that said it was in boot camp. Like, I wonder what percentage of a platoon or whatever, if that was a company or whatever, I wonder what percentage of the guys were in there in the church versus the ones who didn't attend.
Yeah, I got a funny story about boot camp. When we signed up for boot camp, it was me and I had three other guys from high school. Actually, it was five total that I knew, but five guys from my graduating class. I knew all of them, and we were all heading off together at the same exact time. Same time of boot camp. Three of us were in one platoon, two of us were in the other. And not knowing how boot camp works, when they asked you what your religion was, two of the guys were Catholic. And so we were like, well, we'll put Catholic so we can hang out at church, so we can at least see each other. So all four of us put Catholic so we can all go hang out at church, not knowing that the Marine Corps just let you choose wherever you wanted to go, you know? And so I went to Catholic church like the first two times, and like I'm not here to badmouth Catholics, but it was fire and brimstone at the Catholic church. I don't know, did you go to Catholic church when you were at boot camp, or did you skip church?
I did not go to Catholic church, but I attended Catholic school in eighth grade because they were the only ones that had football in my area. So I went to Catholic school. So I've been to a lot of Catholic services.
But it make me leave going from church. Like I'd be even more depressed than what boot camp was doing to me, because this guy was just fire and brimstone. Like you are not enough. You need to do better. Like you are God's people. And like it was really heavy for me. And I'm like, I'd never been to church where there anything like that.
So I'm not Catholic, but just to give them a little backup. That's that I don't believe that's how most Catholic church is. I think that might have just been that particular guy.
That was just boot camp.
Okay,
And
yeah.
then I went to a I don't know if it's Southern Baptist one. Because I'm gonna go to a different church this week without the guys that I was with, and it
Mhm.
was like the exact opposite. And it was mostly all the black people that I served with went to that church. And
Mhm.
it was and I'd never been to a church where people got out of their seats and were jumping around and praising God. And to me that was like equally different for me. But it was fun, and I couldn't believe how crazy people were, because I was so used to being reverent in church and just so quiet. Just having the ability to go check out different churches and like seeing how people can praise God in a different way and the joy it can bring. And um, it was exciting. Like it was cool to see.
So do your dog tags say Catholic on them?
They do. I changed them later on.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, to say Christian on it, but I didn't realize it was. I thought it was like a big deal. But I'm sure even if it was probably my records as being Catholic. You know, they pulled it up.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you're a
And
Catholic.
I think that only matters because it's if you were to get killed in battle or just in general, that's the service they would give you.
Right. I
So
agree with that.
you lived.
Yeah. So when I get buried at veteran cemetery, they'll be like, "We're giving you Catholic rights."
Yep. And that's how you'll forever be in heaven.
It's a Catholic.
Yep.
There is that conspiracy that Charlie Kirk was turning into a Catholic at the very end, and all that speculation by Candace Owens. You seen any of that stuff?
Only off of that God Rules podcast. I've seen him talk about it a little bit.
I cannot believe how. I mean, even when Charlie Kirk passed away, there were so many things already happening. People talking about what it could be. Like I remember someone telling me, like he's not dead. They just faked it so that way they can expose things. And you're like, "Mm, I don't know. I've still been lucky enough not to see the footage of him being shot. So
Yeah, I'm definitely not seeking that out. I don't plan on watching it ever. But that's where we're at, right there. Exactly what you said. We just kind of talked about this a minute ago, but the deception and the no way to discern what is real or fake anymore. The fact that anything can happen and there's going to be people on each side saying that wasn't real or that was real, that was for this, that was for that. That's where we're at right now. And it's only going to get worse.
do you think COVID put everybody in such a state of panic, wanting to be informed on what's happening? That I mean, it led to politics automatically, I believe, because we wanted to trust the leadership. But I did find myself for a while needing to feel like I need to be informed to make good decisions for my family.
I mean, I personally never felt that way. I'm sure there is a part of that. I think more than anything, it got people to not trust.
I know you're not big on the comment section, like reading comments about things.
In our
And
podcast or other?
no, no, no. In general, like you don't
Yeah,
read
typically
comments.
I don't waste my
Okay.
time.
So Obama was coming out slamming Trump recently, and he was saying that the Trump administration, the family, is making all this side money, and part of it was crypto. And um, I'm so used to seeing these things and then seeing the comments and it being very anti-American. And I was shocked to see this time when I clicked on it, it was for Forbes, which I usually leans left, I believe. The entire comment section was like, that is rich coming from you, being a man who made so much money in the White House, and like the real opinions I have about it too were coming out through social media, which I'm like, maybe we're seeing a shift, not so much that has to be Republican, but common sense. Like
Hmm.
that's all I'm looking for as Americans to go back to the middle ground where we can all be like, I don't care who's the president, I don't care which party you're part of. We're all Americans. We all got to have each other's backs. We come first and fight with for each other, for each other.
Yeah, that's been missing for a while now. It's literally all just separated. That's why I always say gray area. The gray area is missing in our country.
Yeah.
Everything's black and white. You either believe this, you believe that, or you're dead to me. And
Right.
that's it's what the people at the top wanted to achieve, and they've achieved it perfectly because it allows them to swing things back and forth. I believe there's people higher than the government and wealthier, and basically there's a reason why we always go back and forth, left to right, left to right. You might stay right for 8 years and then you go back to left. It's because it's a perfect way to keep control and to constantly be able to move your money in order to constantly stay ahead. If you know what's coming next, then you can always move your money and stay in control because different things get accomplished when the left is in office and different things get accomplished when the right's in office. And both of those have different um, economical avenues that they go down, right? And so if you know what's coming and you're the one pushing to make that happen, you're able to get your money into where it needs to be ahead of time, and then you're able to move it over ahead of time. And then that keeps you wealthier and in power forever. But it's the people that are buying it. We're the ones that are stuck in this loyalty to one party or other rather than just looking at what is really happening.
Yeah. Well, something needs to change.
Absolutely.
I don't know what it's going to take, but it definitely is going to be. I don't know. I'm looking forward to have that guest on. We have talked about communism because he's very he's opened my eyes a lot about what the communism is doing in our country. And
Yeah.
I didn't really. I always like thought of it like being a Rocky movie, like Rocky 4, where I'm like
Mhm.
communism, like that was something from like the 80s that like that ain't affecting us now.
Yeah,
But
hopefully we can get him on soon.
yeah.
But I'd say we probably get going and wrap this episode up.
Okay. Well, we want to thank you guys for watching today. Can you please like, share, and subscribe? If you can leave a comment, tell us where you're from. Obviously, I said I'm a Cardinals fan. Josh is a Bears fan. We both live in Arizona, but we'd love to know where you're from. Leave us some comments on how you felt about today's show. Josh, do you have anything to say before we get off?
No, just thanks for watching. We love you guys. God bless. We hope that you enjoyed some of the content today. And like Steve said, leave a comment. Let us know where you're from or what you thought of what we talked about, or if you have any ideas for things you'd like to see us talk about. But besides that, have a great Monday.
Yeah, see you guys later. Love you guys.
Love you.
Bye.